Hi everybody, I'm Wayne Davies from Spectrum Economics. Welcome to part 2 of promoting your content on Steem. Well, in this case, it's promoting your Steem content off of Steem. In my first video, I get used to saying post. In my first video, I talked about promoting your content on Steem. And in this post, I'm going to talk about what you can do with your content off of Steem as well. Some of you who are not on Steem, you're watching this on YouTube. I suggest you go over to Steemit.com. There's a lot of great stuff going on there. There's a number of other applications as well. But this video is going to be focused on Steem content. So I apologize if you don't quite understand what that is. But anyway, so this second post, I'm going to talk about what you can do with your content off of Steem and how you can promote it elsewhere. After you post your post, you'll see at the bottom of your post these 5 symbols. You got Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, LinkedIn, and actually I don't know what that is. It looks like a link chain, but I think that's sharing the link at any other place that you like. And this is actually important because, as I mentioned in the first video, there's several ways you can promote your content on Steem, but they're not necessarily ideal, and you can reach a much wider audience by actually promoting it elsewhere. And I'm going to talk about that now and what I actually do with my content. As you can see here, this is my Facebook page, Spectrum Economics, the same name as what I got on Steemit. Actually, Steemit, I'm Spectrum Econs. It's a shorter version of it anyway, but that's short for Spectrum Economics. And what I do is I share all of my posts, all of them, not quite all of them actually. I don't share my active bit, though I'm going to share some of the special ones maybe at some point. But I share my economics related posts anyway to this site. So what I do is I share it here. And I go in later on and I further share it within Facebook itself. So what you can do is you can share it to groups. So it's worth joining groups in Facebook that's linked somewhat to your content on Steem. And so I talk about economics. So a lot of time I share it to my groups, my economics groups. And I have must have about 10 to 12 of those. Also got a few other posts as well, some of the political ones, some conspiracy ones. I got some vegan ones as well, because I share some posts related to veganism. So what I do is once I've shared it to my page here, I will then share it to these other pages. And what I do with that, I actually insert some text. So I don't have any text on what I've got on the actual page itself. It's just a straightforward share. I think I throw in some tags. So I'll actually have a little brief write-up of the post, just giving it a brief description. And then when I go to share, I insert that. And then I share to the various groups. It's important to change up the text, I think, after about 5 or 6 different shares, just to make sure you don't get considered a spam, because you use the same text again and again and again in various groups. I think Facebook identifies that as spam, and they found that hard way quite a long time ago. So the best thing to do is just change up the text a little bit after a few shares, and away you go, and you can share that 20, 30, 40 times, and maybe not that many times. Let's say about 20 times in various groups. It takes a while though. You've got to be on Facebook for a while to actually accumulate in different groups, and try and stay within the rules of the groups. It's also worth following up if you get comments and likes and all of that as well. So keep the conversation rolling on Facebook as well. And Facebook's good because there's so many people on there, and who knows, these people might appreciate your content and may actually want to join Steem as well. So it's a good way of promoting yourself and promoting Steem, and who knows, if they signed up, that's some potential upvotes you're going to get in the future. You have to bear in mind, none of this promoting I'm talking about here on other social media is actually going to bring you any money directly, but it's still building up your profile outside of Steem, and it's also good for Steem in itself. I have another Facebook page, which sadly enough I've kind of neglected a little bit. I got kind of busy with a lot of other stuff, but occasionally I post other people's posts to this. And this is great as well. It's not so much promoting yourself, but you can promote other people as well. So what you do is you just share. You see something you really like, you give it an upvote, and you can be even nicer by sharing that post to Facebook as well. And again, like I mentioned with your own post, you can share that to groups as well. So it's, you can help other people out, and also you're helping out Steem as well. The more exposure you give Steem to other people, the more people are going to want to join it when they see, well, hey, this is good. That's why it's important to find good content and share it that way. And for me, as I'm invested in Steem, I want more people to join, not just for my own content, but for the platform as a whole, and effectively, so you get more people buying and investing in Steem. Here are some of the groups that I've joined. And you can see none of them actually on here are actually economics groups. There's a few Steemit ones here. As you can see, the Steemit. There's actually a lot of Steemit groups on Facebook. I think I've got about 15 to 20. I think I've joined it, so it's quite a lot of them. And there's a few other stuff as well. I got the political stuff, and I got the vegan stuff, the controversial stuff. I think that's pretty good for me as well, because a lot of my stuff I present in regards to economics isn't just straight up economics. Some of it is, but a lot of it has a twist to it. And not always your mainstream economists, not always particularly pleased with some of the things I have to say about some of the people in the conspiracy circuits or the more controversial stuff actually tend to like that. So again, it's whatever content that you have and what these groups relate to. You go search for these groups. Some of you have to ask a few questions, and try and genuinely align your content with these groups. And you can have a few discussions. Some of them, don't go anywhere. Some of them are really quite good. Another good place to share your content is LinkedIn. Well, for me in particular, because a lot of my stuff is relating to stuff that people are quite interested in terms of work-related stuff, if you know what I mean, because mine's relating to economics. There's a lot of economists on there, and it encourages discussion. If you're also doing stuff that could potentially relate to work, I think LinkedIn is actually a very good place to put your stuff. You get very different conversations on there than what you get on Facebook, so you have to bear that in mind. And I think they hold you to slightly higher standards. I've never had a problem there in terms of spamming and things like that. So it's a different audience. So LinkedIn might not work for everybody, but for my content, I've got some of the best discussions on LinkedIn, and it's kind of great way to engage with people with your content. I don't know how many people have actually signed from LinkedIn. I don't think I actually have anyone there yet, but still, it's giving your content more exposure. You can see here's some of the groups that I'm a member of on LinkedIn. It's not always that easy to become a member. Sometimes you've got to wait for these groups. Some of these, like London School of Economics, I got my economics degree from the University of London, so it got me in on that one fairly easily. You can check on your profile for things like that. And the economic stuff as well, based on my profile, I've been an economist for 10 years, so getting to those groups wasn't a big deal. The vegan stuff as well, I got supporting evidence on that too, so it's easy to get into these groups. And so if you share to LinkedIn, often don't share directly actually, often actually share straight to the groups. And personally, I find that great. It doesn't necessarily have to share directly to your page, but you could do that as well. It depends on your following and all. I have about a 600 plus following at the moment, which isn't bad for LinkedIn. It tells you 500. For whatever reason, that's the highest it goes up to, but yeah, I've got around 600 at the moment. Another great place to share your blogs is Reddit. So Reddit, in some ways, is a little bit similar to Steemit. So if if you've got written blogs and posts and all that fit into these subreddits, I think they're called, then yeah, it's worth sharing them there. I found it annoying at times though. You have people coming in and they're not happy, and they take it down because you're sharing links and things like that. Yeah, it happens, but you can share your content there multiple times into multiple subreddits. I think you can share it. There's a Steem subreddit there as well. It's one for posts, I think, and one for general discussion, and lots of other ones as well. I've been taken down several times, which can be annoying, but you can get a few good ones in there. As you see, I got this one down there, Melbourne Cup. That did pretty well. I think I got 12 on that one. Generally, I haven't been scoring too great because I joined fairly late in terms of that, as you can see there, 2017. So, if you've been on Reddit for a long time, I strongly recommend that you share your content there. Another fairly good place to share your content, I think a lot of people are doing that these days, is Twitter. My Twitter account is basically non-existent. I signed up very recently. Oh God, what does it say there? June 2018. Yeah, and this is quite old as well, this picture. So not a lot happening. I spend almost zero time on Twitter. I just generally do my share and leave. I think if you're more committed to Twitter, you could probably do fairly well. It's getting people, again, with Twitter, you're not going to see too much of the tweet. So it's encouraging people to click on your link. And Steem actually have their own Twitter account, and I think they've also got their own what do you call that, tag or hashtag, or I'm going to call it, on Twitter. And I think there's fairly good sharing on there as well. And I've seen a lot of people sort of promoting people using Twitter. And I think you put your tweets and then you can get upvotes and stuff like that. Personally, I wouldn't do it for that purpose. I just think it's just a great way of just getting the name Steem out there as well as your content as well. I also, with YouTube, I wouldn't say I shared my content on YouTube because my content actually with videos originates there. So I create the video originally on YouTube, then I share it to Steemit. And the other stuff you can't really share on YouTube. So it is, so I wouldn't exactly call it sharing, but it's another platform where your content gets exposure. So I'll get exposure for the video here. I'll get exposure for it in the Steemit post. Some of you are using DTube. I used to be a DTube user. So you should probably post it on YouTube and DTube, and then you have it in the Steemit post, and you also get it on DTube as well. So that's another way of sort of getting your stuff, getting more exposure. And the DTube have got a pretty good community as well, if you can get in with those guys. So it's, you know, it's another way of sharing your videos. But YouTube is definitely great if you've got a video. And I have been, I don't get advertised anymore. I think they changed their requirements, so it's not really a money place again. But again, you know, I get the upvotes for sharing it through Steemit, so I don't see that too much of a big deal. And the YouTube channel is a good way of organizing your videos as well, better than what we currently have at Steem. So if you can have videos, I'll put them on YouTube first and then share them to Steemit. I also have a Minds account. Minds is fairly new, but I've been on Minds for a little while now. I haven't created any original Minds content. It's all basically Steem content that I share there. So I'll share it directly to my page, and then I'll often share it to the groups as well. So this is sort of a direct sharing thing. So share to the page and go into the groups. You join up groups. It seems to be very easy to join groups. There isn't any approval process or anything like that. And also with Minds, you can actually also earn on Minds as well. I haven't used any of the earning on Minds whatsoever. I basically, with any of the tokens I picked up from Minds, I just put it straight into promoting the content there, boosting it. So that gets boosted there, and you basically pay for the number of views. Again, that's not very directed, but at least you're getting more exposure. And as I have no interest in really collecting whatever token they have on Minds, I find it's okay just to use that and to just promote the content there directly. And some of them do pretty well, some of them don't. So it's a bit of a hit and miss at the moment. But yeah, it's a not bad place to share your content. And we have some groups as well. We've got a Steem group, a Steemit group, and also a DTube group, I believe. As I mentioned, here we go, the groups. These are the ones that I've joined. Here we go, I've got cryptocurrency, I've got economics, I've got the conspiracy, Venus Project, Anonymous. So yeah, all of these, I don't share to all of them, but share to some of these, the ones that are relevant. So it's always good to join up with the groups. And like I said, that's a little bit similar to Facebook, but it's pretty easy to share that. Instagram is also another good way of getting exposure. From Instagram, I got a mixture actually. Not all of it's my Steem stuff, as you can see there. I think that's avocado on toast. I was sharing a photo, but I got a lot of my Steem stuff there as well. I got my ActiveIt, as you can see, and I got Steem Park. That was good fun. And what I do that is I often create colorful, fancy thumbnails and basically just post them to Instagram, and then just provide a little bit of a write-up about the thumbnail and about the Steem post, and away we go. And some of them get quite a few likes. I get a bit worried sometimes. Sometimes it just drops. I had a recent one that didn't really get me anywhere. I could be shadow banned again. Ouch. But anyway, it's still a fairly good way of sharing your content, and you know, it's just more exposure. And there's a lot of people on Instagram, even if they don't join Steemit, they get to know your name, you know. And if eventually if they do join Steemit, and it, you know, might just twig in and think, oh, Spectrum, I remember that guy, and away you go. You know, you've got another person viewing your content. It may take a while to click in, you know, but who knows, you know, it could be a year away. But this is all future people for your content. There you go. So this is just examples of some of the platforms off of Steem I use to promote my content. And I think it's great because you want to get as wide an audience as possible. And it promotes yourself, it promotes Steem, and it also promotes the apps that you're using as well, because the app name tends to come up too. So if I posted with Busy, for example, it's also a way of promoting Busy too, because that comes up there too, and you get redirected to that site. So it's a great way of helping the platform as well as yourself, and probably helps the platform more than if you're just promoting internally. You have to remember, if you're a content creator, it's not just about making rewards, making money within Steem itself, but it's about reaching a wider audience. That'll give you more sustainability in itself as a content creator, and gives you more options to grow in the future. And there's other things you can do as well, which I haven't done yet, but I will be doing at some point, and that is actually writing ebooks. I'm going to have my vegan economics, so I think I'm calling it at the moment cruelty-free economics ebook that's been delayed. Possibly going to pull some of my other theories together into ebook, as well as have one on Steem. So again, it's more and more ways of promoting yourself, promoting your content, promoting your blogs and your videos, and going as far afield as possible. And that just doesn't have to be restricted to Steem. This brings me to the end of this short series. It was just 2 videos. So the first video was promoting on Steem and the various options, such as using Steam Chat, Discord, Resteem services, BidBots, and the promoted tab. And in terms of promoting off Steem, that's using other social media, which is great. I talked about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Minds, and a few others. So anyway, so have to remember, if you're creating content, you have great confidence in the work that you've done and you want as many people to see it as possible, promotion is vital. You want as many people to see it, because if you've created something brilliant and something great and no one sees it, then it doesn't really add that much value. The value it adds is what you've done, the great stuff you've done, and also people coming in and enjoying that. So definitely get out there and start promoting your content as much as you possibly can. Okay, that takes me to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to give me a like and a subscribe. You're watching it on Steemit, give me an upvote and follow would be great. Thank you very much.